This is the universe, brought to you in part by the multiverse. This is another episode of the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power with Frank Freak of Nature Beasley. I want you to put your iPods together. Maybe find an Android device and install some Linux software. But before you do that, jump up and down and give us a Here's Frankie.
Well, all right. How you guys doing out there? And feeling awesome? Oh, I'm feeling like a $100 bill, y'all. It's been very dynamic, to say the least. Uh-oh, and we're crashing. Crashing and burning, crashing and burning. Holy incredible boys, Batman! Looking great today. We've got two things in the pipeline. In the binary code and voltage database, we've got one, the epic sides of the future. We've got you out there reigning supreme, finding out what magic is behind these hands. As we crash the media server, it's not a surprise that, well, it goes ever onward. Moving forth. Yesterday's episode was brought to you in part by Pearl Snare Drums, Sonar Snare Drums and Drums, Zildjian Cymbals, Axis Pedals, Elysius, Sampling and Software Devices, Monster Cable, oh, just kidding. Anytime you come into contact with a Monster Cable, you send it back to the manufacturer and ask for your money back. But if it's a Mogami or Proco or Switchcraft connected, Neutra connected device or cable, you're going to be having a great time. How are you guys doing out there today? Anything that we should know about before we look at the dock? Oh, it is 2 times the voltage, 3 times the frequency. This is a -6 dB mix. I always love putting the mix notes in the cup of honesty. You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself, well, living a shotgun life, and you may find yourself wondering, what the hell have I done with my entire teenage existence? Well, you know what's happening. The future process. It's coming one step at a time. Not only is it a band that lies dormant in the inner monologue of your mind, but it's greatly appreciated by any and all people who appreciate torturing a binary code and voltage device. Now, the purpose of this show is to bring attention to things that we all enjoy. About music, about sound, about the production world, about how to put on a show with your friends and have a really great time. Now, I'm going to roll this out for a second and save it while this little intro monologue rolls deep into your heart and soul. Now, the purpose of the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power with me, Frank Freak of Nature, featuring Frank Freak of Nature, is to open your mind to some of the very cool nuances of mix equipment, analog and digital audio equipment, sound equipment that doesn't do things that you would even imagine, modular and analog and digital synthesizers, all of these little nuances that make you go, well, how in the Christmas nuggets is that even possible? Wow! Predator Vision, it's a very low-tech, high-tech way to broadcast. But like this rig is basically an OBS studio software encoder with an O2R and an O&V patched, a series of decent Shure and Rode and Neumann microphones, maybe a couple of AKGs, for lucky a couple more Sennheisers. But it doesn't take a whole lot. It takes a lot to get it all together, to get it patched, to get it in the right package, to get a guitar player like the Los to show up on time with a great attitude, a killer rig, and a sound that you weren't even expecting. I mean, that is not for the faint of heart. And the intro. Oh, yes. You hear it here. You hear it live. Like I said in the previous episode, this is episode 9 of the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power with Frank Freak of Nature. We were talking about snare drums yesterday. Today we're going to jump into various tom configurations. Are you a rack 4 kind of guy, or do you like to have an entire octave of toms? What? You can have 18 toms in the kit? Wait, I can have... We can have 8 toms times, well, as many octaves as you can possibly comprehend. I mean, Terry Bozzio, man, drumming in the ostinato is still something we all pursue to do in our day-to-day lives and find it to be more and more difficult the more we play. A paradiddle, in contrast with syncopated double bass, is quite a fiasco if it's out of sync, but my gosh, if it rhythms up and locks in like Sammy J. Watkins playing some of his new synthesized music, be sure to check out brother Sammy J., drummer of the Apex Theory. Many other bands like Chameleon Conductor, I think he's helping out, and he really has spent a lot of years at MI, but this is a man that used to have a smaller tom after a bigger tom and a bigger tom before. The way his tom configuration was and his China being off to the left, I mean, it was just not comprehensible. But what was awesome, what was for not the faint of heart, was the way he could do fills and the way he could introduce a changeover or a transition in a song. And that was, you know, the 10, the 12, the 16, and the 18. And I believe Gretsch has been making shells for Sammy J for a while now. And I mean, he took me under his wing at a time when the Revolvers, a band that you hear numerously and repeatedly on this show, because you know what? You got to play your own stuff. You got to make it. You've got to produce it. Drinking your own water, wherever it is. Last winter up here in the Northeast, we've undocked the boat. We're currently in a less stressful location. We're on dry land. Like I said, this is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. I'm Frank Freak of Nature. And today's episode is brought to you by Pearl Toms. Any drum manufacturer makes a hellaciously epic drum. You cannot stand for, oh, wait a second. Where did I go? Oh, look. Wait, let's see if we can... Oh, it's super magical, Ringo. It's like we're a gorilla in the mist. Nick Swardson, go look up this joke, Monkey High Five. Oh, it's the funniest joke out there. There's a man outside of a Vegas There's a man outside of a Vegas lot. He's outside of a casino. Nick just won big. He comes rolling out. Whoa, Baba Chukuloo, what's up there, Mr. Monkey Man? The guy's like, come on, bro, give the monkey $1. Find out. Well, I've got $300 right here that I just won at the slot machines, being Nick Swardson, epic roller skating badass from Reno 9/11, and extraordinary comedic talent. Now he's like, well, that's no problem, Mr. Monkey Man. Whoop-ow! Gives the monkey $1. Monkey takes the $1, hands it to the man, comes back up to the dude. No, boom! Monkey High Five is born. One of the most legendary excursions. Well, he keeps pumping dollars out, dollar after dollar. He's giving him dollars, Monkey High Five after Monkey High Five. It's a tom fill with like a freaking, you know, there's a gong tom, freaking basically a bass drum with the front head on. And this girl comes up, hands the monkey a $5. Monkey High Five is transcended by him crawling up onto her shoulder. They're hugging, they're having a makeout sesh. Nick now has $5 left of his $300, and he looks at the guy like, why didn't you tell me the magic of this monkey? Well, for 2 reasons. One, it was awesome to watch 295 Monkey High Fives, but B, you could have asked. Monkey High Five. If you have a friend out there that you haven't talked to in a while, you go find him. You give him a big fat Monkey High Five. Double bonus. Bring him up, look at the elbow, line it up. Fuba! It's going to happen. You're going to feel great about it. But for me, that was the rack floor. She just came up instead of being like... She went boom, blew us out of the water. Sometimes a drum solo is not necessary when all you need is a sugar da boom, bugger da boom, bow. And we slid in a little bit of Maiden yesterday. Got a copyright strike. I find it to be comedic that the algorithms, the bots, are so effective that unless you are rolling deep in your own area, you are basically, whoa, Carlos Alvarado, the lows. But that Monkey High Five, you look up some of Nick's comedy. Oh man, I'll include some in the comments, maybe in the description box below. We'll find, I can't actually find just the clean Monkey High Five jokes. So Nick, if you're out there listening, why don't you give us what we're looking for? Now, let's see if we can get, being that this is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power, this is our official second intro song. This is a little loop that I found on a CDR that was made with a Tascam CDRW 700 in 2009, 10, or 11 with one of my favorite guitar players. And we were thinking about Dimebag. Lord, Brother Dime, if you're out there, we send up too many horns, big brother. You are a magistrate. The anti-oligarch, the American dream. I hope you and Vinny are playing your asses off. I just got powerful goosebumps. And like I said, this is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. Now, we're not just here to encourage you to be awesome. We're here to make sure that you find everything that you're looking for in this life, because I've been blessed with waking up on a tour bus with Dickie from the Allman Brothers Band. Yes, that guy. And he eats bloody. If there was ever a time to, that man eats Fruit Loops in his whitey tighties. He's got a full-on Yosemite Sam mustache. He's like, hey, you Frank? I'm like, I was told to not interface with you in the morning because you like to fight. And being that I'm a martial arts guy, I have a feeling you're going to whoop my ass. He said, are we paying you? And I was like, I'm getting taken care of. And he's like, well, it's about this and that. And it was a very reasonable, salary. And this is the very beginning of my career. This is when you learn that there's two kinds of people in the world. And this was taught to me in the dojo. There are the quick and the dead. And I've somehow not wound up dead because I'm a little bit faster than the average bear. But I had a strange encounter at a parking lot somewhere in Jersey the other day. You guys stay on your toes. Those criminals out there are getting abundant. They're growing very callous. And the people that I've gotten to spend time on the road, the only criminals are the bad attorneys, the bad promoters, and the artists emulating entertainers, or the entertainers entertaining artists. Emulating. It's that line from all God's finite universal creation himself.
Let us hear it, boys. This is some big wisdom. I've got my notepad out. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take some notes. Got my notepad out. It's going to be great. Tell us.
Theater. Theater is politics. In politics is theater. It's that simple. It's probably unbelievable to think, but when we play music, we get people dancing. When we get military law, government, medicine folks out to shows and they're thanking us for putting on shows, you realize that the mountain gets covered by the snow. But the snow, when it melts, it creates that awesome water that we get to enjoy. Let's see if I can, whoop-ah! That's a beautiful sight. It is a miracle of sorts. I've got to get better at this key color chroma green screen stuff. But I kid you not, when I think about toms, I think about really funny things, about times where I have guitar players looking up like, well, is this Tom Phil ever going to end, buddy? Jeez Louise, I think it carried over into the verse. The verse ended, and now we're back into the little intro thing where that tom part began. It was at 16 counts of toms, we only needed 2. Yeah, great of excessive forces. Now, let's just stop and take an epic breath. Oh, yeah. Feel it. Feel the power. You have somebody deeply engaging you in the city. I had a guy the other day. He said, hey, man, I really want to punch you in the face. I said, how does that make you feel? I took a deep breath. I said, hey, brother, I'm going to take a deep breath. You should join me. The train car did. There was like 800 of us on a frickin' 55,000-pound train car. You can only fit like 88 people. Somehow, in rush hour, on the frickin' ACE 123 L or M, any of the FD frickin' MR trains, what is it? What am I forgetting? The S? The frickin' S train? And yes, I'm going to color code them. I like thinking of the gray lines, or the orange lines, or the blue lines. All you locals, and including my evil ex, you know who you are, lady. I can't believe I survived. It is amazing. That guy shuddered in the eye of honesty because I wasn't going to haul off and hit the guy. He may have hauled off and hit me. He'd have broken his hand on my concrete face. There are robot parts in there. You got to realize some of us go under the blade. And we're not just talking about Twisted Sister. You're under the blade. Cowboy. Let's just sing the price. We're going to pull up lyrics live on the air. You guys are going to watch this go down in real time. I would have a file of this, but one of our due diligent Kyles, well, the price, Twisted Sister lyrics. I can type. Now, these guys were introduced me to time long before I learned the roots of my tranniedom. Like, some of us are just born with, like, tranny roots. You're not going to avoid it. You can either embrace it. I was born a long hair. I will die a long hair. I may cut it here in a few, but for the most part, it's going to stay with me until it falls out. It does not help. It only alienates. It only pushes people away, and it is in no way... Let's just slide this down here and see if this works. Hello, some butches. Oh, this is awesome. I mean, this is as hack as it gets. How long I have waited for this dream to come true. As it approaches, I can't believe I'm through. I've tried, oh, I have tried. For a life, yes, a life, I thought I knew. Oh, it's the price we gotta pay. Let's see if we can get this, What's the price we've gotta pay? And all the games we've gotta play. Makes me wonder if it's worth it to carry on. 'Cause it's a game we're gonna lose. But it's a life we cannot choose. We gotta choose. And the price is our own life until it's done. Whew. That's real deal shit, guys. Some of us, I forgot how awesome those lyrics are. Whew. Time seems to have frozen, but the mind can't be fooled. As the days pass, I discover destiny just can't be ruled. Hard times, oh, hard times. For the price, yes, for the prize, yes, the prize, I thought I knew. Oh, it's the price we've gotta pay, and all the games we've gotta play. Makes me wonder if it's worth it to carry on. Oh, it's worth it, baby. Oh, 'cause it's a game we gotta lose. Though it's a life we gotta choose. And the price is our own life until it's done. Oh, it's the price we gotta pay. And all the games we've gotta play. And it makes me wonder... Never felt like a superhero until now. Something awesome about casting lyrics on your own shirt. This little bit of homage. Oh, hoorah. If there was ever something that would make me super proud as a kid, at some point you'll be the billboard for your favorite rock and roll band as a child. Now, it was the doon 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 kaboom. That first fill as a kid, I had a cowbell and a ractom. Not a rectum. I mean, I had a rectum. Boom. But that ractom I still have. It was a Pearl knockoff 11 by 13 tom. Sean Williams, you're out there somewhere still killing it. I was told that this band was a faggot band and that faggot bands go on to do nothing except make more faggot bands. Well, I met D a couple of times, and he said, keep up the good work, young man. You know the price. He said those. That's why I'm getting a little misty-eyed. Because all you shitheads out there that show up late with excuses, I've never been that guy. If I'm freaking late, it's because there was a 405 fireball hazard that we had to stop and help, or a wheel flew off the van, or I just simply overslept because we worked so hard and late, and I call you at the time and tell you, I'm going to be late because I'm a douchebag. But it is not recurrent. Now I realize I am a freaking handful. I'm opinionated, I have preferences, and I am well rehearsed. But it is our turn, it is our time, and this is the United States of Earth. We are able to save the world one frequency at a time. And with that said, I think it's only just that we roll into some independent music from... That is amazing. I didn't realize that was up there this whole time. There's a hidden little gem over here. Oh my gosh, let's see. We're going to roll in, I think this, or we're going to play this. Let's see, where is it? I can read. There's a lot of toms in here. There's a lot of hard work. And I'm sure you're tired of this song, but I'm hoping it grows on you. Some of my favorite records I had to listen to 3 times before I got through them. Soulfall, Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth, and Paradise Lost.
Generational slaves, long languishing, the mercy of corrupt masters.
Lots of toms. Enjoy the song.
Dignity domain with the first rains of decay. The shadows corrode. Once precipice of burden, now our reckoning falls. Strength of faith and pain of relics forever lost. Watches of oppression affecting nature's course. Ripe with the taste of victory, but at what cost? Not before long, set about to build on their accomplishments. Living life, gloating and decadent. How quickly they forgot their bloody path to freedom. A mutation of ideals ensued, and the promise of light rapidly extinguished. That became the end of glory, and the beginning of the end to all. Mankind! And once precipice of burning, now one desperate force. Strength of faith and pain of relics forever lost. Watches of oppression affecting nature's course. Right. the blind. Watchful eye for the dark side of human endeavor. What an instant change forever could be. Something worthwhile and which endless can never regain. In our essence, the wax and purpose often confounds, and so through time better to drift along in delirium. Rain out for those who squander the gift of light. Rain out for those who squander the gift of light.
On a rainy day in August of 2001, this lonely recording occurred. With me, a Rode NT1, which I still have, an XLR cable that I built. This was all to capture reverb on toms, but I got carried away listening to the angelic choirs, the magnificence of the night sky. What do you guys think out there? How you doing, tyrannical assassin 8718? What about Linda Spree? I wonder if you're really a Linda, because no one would ever. Well, it's nice to have you guys. We're gaining a little bit of momentum. The one purpose of this is to inform you as to how awesome musicality is. The process of creating music, writing music, being part of a musical outfit, theatrical, freaking Broadway, anything from film and TV to your favorite garage band. I mean, you guys your entire life have had a studio called Garage Band. Are you bloody kidding me? Completely ill-feasible, completely magical, but it is. Oh, the loop back. You gotta love the loop back. When in doubt, loop it back. Loop, 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 loop it back. Let's keep that out. Oh. Listen to them. The children of the night. What sweet music they make. It's Halloween time. An honorable mention for the entire histogram, the chronology, the lineage. This show is born in, well, if it wasn't for those epic thunder and lightning storms. I was mentioning this the other day. One of the most frightening things I ever personally encountered was improperly placed graphical design. God, it looks so good when it looks so good, but it just looks bad when it looks bad. We used to have to unplug all the equipment. Power broke. We lost power once. Lightning hits the house nearby. And we realized that at this point, acoustic drums are unstoppable because we're playing a song Incineration. It's just bum 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 double bass. Da 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 da. What is it? Just you were like 17 years old. Room goes totally black. I literally freaking crap my pants. And the song kept playing, guitars kept going, but there was silence, and it was a big thing for me. It taught me that at any moment, what we have here, can go up in the blink of an eye, like a flash in the pan, like a fantastic bolt of lightning. It's what we have tangibly that we can affectionately hold on to. These nuances, these moments, when I hit a key on the QWERTY keyboard and that occurs, that is excessive. That is really, really excessive. I have, for a million years, wanted to implement cheesy computer graphics into a video show, and here we are. I mean, if you don't love stained glass shampoo, then I don't know what you're talking about. But the last song was from a little band, Proto Slave, and I got to play drums on that record and produce the darn thing, so have at it, because that was a pre-production demo, and we were a full fighting force of soup sandwiches. There was no stopping Guyana, Riff, and Sarah. They were an immovable force, to say the least, as the thunder creeps in. But today's episode, this is an afternoon, this is a matinee. This is to draw you out in the middle of the day and make sure that you're doing something you love to do. If you're a poet and you don't know it, then get down on some paper, find a notepad, and just start throwing words at it. I've got more dribble than you could ever shake a stick at. Shoot, you could fall out of the stick tree, hit every stick, wind up on the ground with a pile of sticks, and still miss the bloody point that I'm trying to make. But when you think of a Tomville, it's that woman who had sense enough to go up to Monkey Man and pay off the monkey right out the gate and have a full-on makeout sesh. The kaboom! Goom! Ooh! Goom! That's basically doom! A freaking 8-inch tom. Boom! 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 22 by 18. Boom! I want some of my loot buddies out there to make that a good. Why, I'm not allowed to be. Excuse me, sir. Would you mind taking the freak out of here? The New York style is my new favorite thing. Is you have 2 seconds in New York. Somebody will hold the door for you. Please, sir, by all means. And once that ends, they're like, get the freak in there! Thank you. Moving on. You have 2.5 seconds before you get the hammer of New York. Let's see what this is. Comedy. Where's the button? You are the only one of our really successful producer buddies. When I use the word producer, it's usually somebody who works way too hard, making way too much, doing way too many things for way too many human beings. What's going on here? Where's the big logo? Oh, that's just delightful. Maybe we can make this a little less soupy and a little bit more geometric. There you go. I wrote this using Milk Drop Studios. You can completely descramble their code. You can rip it out, tear it up, rewrite it, make it pretty much a minimally weighty algorithm for your device. And we'd like to thank Winamp for producing this entire show. Now, if you remember this guy, this is Carlos. Now, this is the part of the show where we get a little political. We get a little douchey. We get a little wax poetic. I know you guys spend a lot of time out there commuting. I know you spend a lot of time out there traveling in trains, planes, and automobiles. But do you find yourself constantly wondering, is it even possible for people to care less? Is it even feasible that we vote and nothing occurs? Is it possible that your news feed is in fact tailored to you, like The Truman Show? Do you think that you're that cool, that you're a targeted individual, that you're a person of interest? Bullshit. Put your cell phone down, draw a line on the road or a line in the path. I never thought walking around people would be harder than driving around them, but welcome to New York City. New York, you'll find yourself living behind the masses, the hugeness, the proximity effect of the herd, unless you figure out how to exist like a monk. You have to undulate, wax poetic, and find, well, this kind of magic. When you're walking, imagine you're a wicked guitar player. You're just cruising and grooving. You're not messing around. You're not looking to fight anybody. If you get messed with, you nod and thank them. I apologize for coming in contact with you. You have a wonderful day. And if they persist, you walk away. If they persist, take them the fuck out! Sorry to swear, children. I said funk. Take them the funk out! F-U-N-C-T-K. Funked! Full Unlawful Carnal Knowledge was one of the first episodes that taught me how to avoid the bot algorithmic bull. If it's binary code and voltage that brings you this message, then it's our togetherness that can bring this message. And for me to humbly bare my soul to you guys is many years of practicing. As a 20-year-old boy trying to argue with anyone and everyone about my opinion, I never thought you guys would be out there, tuning in, secretly downloading these from Tor browsers. .onion, go explore the depths of the real web, the rest of the web, well, imagine if we all kind of learned something instead of just repeating the same button presses. There was a point when I could call a guitar player, they would be there in a minute. Now we have to schedule stuff. I understand that because I'm a pain in the butt. But the moral is just look out for each other. It's okay to slow down and let somebody in traffic. It's okay to use a turn signal. It's definitely okay to say, hey, how you doing? And if the person looks homeless or in need, don't use the "do you got a quarter" before they get there. Give them a bloody quarter and warm their heart. They have nothing. You've got everything to them. It doesn't need to be like this, guys. There's more than enough to go around. And it's like a big... I've watched drummers literally spin around! Full on 360 degrees! Shoot Tommy Lee and Joey, man. They've built rigs. If you want to see a badass drummer, oh my gosh, go watch your boy Travis Barker. That kid can rip me in half still. I frickin' smoke! Guy's a chop master, man. Woodsmith, a full-on mastercraft. But my man, the myth, the legend. This episode goes out to you, Sammy J. Watkins. You're somewhere in Canoga Park, tearing it up right now. And I want you guys to wish him a lot of luck. He, like I, has recently figured out you don't have to wait on a guitar player anymore. The technology permits. We're allowed to use samplers, sequencers, and other. That's awesome. You can almost see it's cheese ball head. I've got to lay the room out so you can see what's going on. It's actually pretty awesome in here. Whoa, that's enough of that. Joe Zeebley for teaching me how to frame a video, and I still can't implement it with my barely 720p camera. Magnum PI! Any of you guys out there remember, Magnum PI? Do you remember the actor? Oh, come on, Mustache Man, what's his name? You're gonna remember later, I'm not gonna tell you. He's currently the AARP. You know you're getting older when the AARP guy was your hero as a boy. You're like, oh crap, we're all growing up here. This show started out as How to Be an Adult, became Awesome Garage, and this is a subsidiary of Rock and Roll Secret Service, RRSS, a division limited. Now, if there is something I do enjoy, it's talking to you guys. It's been a hard road for a lot of folks. The world, Henry Rollins quote, "The world is a cruel place and you'll eventually die." Whoa! Nah, he's kind of right. You got to make it good for each other. I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for each one of you humble human beings out there, thinking about placing your parts, thinking about programming toms, and that's why this episode was brought to you entirely by Rototoms, Power Toms, Octave Toms, Octotoms, Floating Toms, Concert Toms, any dimension of a tom, improperly tuned toms, my favorite, rehearsal space beaten toms. They're the saddest toms where it's like, it makes you cry. It makes you cry more than most things. But the price, that is the price you pay. If you want to rock and roll in this day and age and make a difference and help us save the world one frequency at a time, then the only way to do that, the only way to make that feasible is working organically with each other and slowing down your roll, as they say. Let's see how this goes. My least favorite thing in the world, overly produced podcasts. All right. Hey, I can totally hear myself. This is great. I actually have no cans. Moving on. Oh, there we are. Hey. Oh yeah. Feel the power. Do you like my Beats by Dre Sony 7506 knockoff Bluetooth 1/8" headphones? I'd like to thank my mom for these headphones. These came at Christmas a few years ago. They have a mate. It was one of those his and hers scenarios where she was like, "Get this crap out of here. I've got Apple headphones. Apple everything. I have not taken a bite of the poison apple, but I do use an Apple device alongside with some droids. Let's get ready for the big Linux move over. It's taken a decade for you guys to learn that the operating system that makes all of the operating systems is basically the same. Bash commandos, it's just a / before a hard drive setting. I mean, this is not, the kernel exists. He's not just the Captain Crunch there. The kernel is actually, with a K, Kernel, kernel. We'll spell it any way you want to spell it, but it's kernel with a K. Rewrite your kernels. Let's get this show on the road. So, anywho, this concludes yet another wildly gesticulated heavy metal happy hour of power. In order to prevent the copyright gods from hammering down, I'm going to play you a very secret and special cut from a very dear friend of mine who you may grow tired of this. And where is that long impromptu? Where is that? I bet it's over here. Excuse me for one moment. We'll be right back. Enjoy these messages from my inner monologue. Do you find yourselves not wanting to buy corporate products? Do you find yourselves being awesome all the time but running into really crappy people? Do you find yourselves just trying to figure out how to not... Oh my goodness, that could be it. Let's see what track 34 is. 270 minutes, 11 minutes. Frollos, that thing. H promo.
Pondering deeply into a point in your mind, you'll find...
What's funny is this track is exactly 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Now that is cell. When you look at a digital clock, and you flip it over, the 1135 becomes SELL. And the next number is 1134, which we always joked was hell. So it's sell your soul to hell. 1134, 1135, hell in cell. It's just funny. It's a play on words. But this song is actually that long, and that's going to give me just enough time to capture your minds, your bodies, and your souls. As I go drink some water, do some monkey high fives, we're going to get this show almost off the road. This is a little bit of banter. This is a little bit of wax poetic. But these, like Sammy J mentioned a moment ago, he's finally working with the electronic devices that are going to make some of the most magical music for us drummers. We need to kind of unite, build some drummer cores, together we... What is that? That is highly offensive. I'm going to jump out of here. Well, that's cute. I'm going to put us back in there, and we're going to get over here, and we're going to do this. Enjoy.
You'll find yourself at various intervals, pondering deeply into a point in your mind, an infinitesimal point, a silent point, a fractional intersection, a juggernaut of sorts, a place you thought you could never enter, a place in which you soar through the static. You find yourself on the other side of the binary coded voltage, and you realize that all of this is one singularity, that we are one space and time, that we are the fifth element, or the fifth phrase, or the fifth attack, or the circle of fifths, the fifth circle of fifths. The in, the out, the up, the down, the today, the yesterday, the tomorrow. We are one bloody, algorithmic maneuver. And if there is one thing we will always require, is the caring, the company, and the affection of others. The grouping, the gaggling, the gopher and the tortoise, the rabbit, the hare, and the tortoise. You'll be that, yes. We are finding you.
we golly gee willikers. Let's pull that down. Let's get this back up. And that little interval featured 2 analog synthesizers. 2 very straightforward, easy to manipulate, easy to find. Let's see if I can find that again. That would be you. We're going to put you in there. And I think that's where I live. Oh, screwed that up. Now, I cannot edit while you guys are on. It is just so boring. So boring, I tell you.
You'll find yourself.
This is 4 channels. Stereo. They were matched up. Slid one back about 4 milliseconds. There are also 2 different entire sections of noise making. But that's when you have a bunch of analog knobs that enable envelope, filters, frequencies, and all your attack, sustain, decay, and release. What is that? ASDR? Attack, sustain, decay, release. ASDR? ASDR! That's anything like DSLR, digital single lens camera, or recording device. That DSLR can kiss my butt. That's the worst acronym ever. But, well, before the show, Tommy Tom Chong Chongs. This is for all you guys out there.
A lot of fog, like 20 times the amount of fog that you give any heavy metal band.
20 times more. That's a lot of fog.
A lot of fog, like 20 times the amount
That's
of fog
so much
that you
fog.
give any heavy metal band.
That is so much fog.
We need... There's no fog machine! We've been lied to!
That's for all you boys and girls out there who've been to hell and back. Once or twice. During a live show. There's nothing funnier than trying to argue with people that, well, they're not hearing it. This is, what is that? Oh, gosh. I'm gonna share this melody with you guys again. I do understand the guitars are at -10 if the drums are at 0. It's irritating. But when you're producing it, tracking it, placing mics, running the equipment, making sure computers don't fail. This is the early 2000s. This is 2002. Listen to those toms. Uh-oh. Listen to that freaking boomy kick. All right, well, we're killing that. Listen to all that boom. Anyway, this is what I want to share. So beautiful. It's our first or second time to this, but this is all... so good. I love all those little skater talks right there at the beginning of songs. I think we are winding down. I'm going to play you another track. This is a pre-production demo with no vocals, so if you guys are bored out there and you want a song that you can add some vocals to, please, by all means, share alike, share it with your buddies, share it with your mother, father, goat, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, I don't mind. But make sure you call them up, single line, for the ride divine. Now, this is one of my favorite sing-alongs, and I may do, just for fun today, a little scratch vocal for the intro. Maybe next time. Enjoy yourselves. This is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. I'm Frank Freakin' Nature. I want you guys. a complete fiasco. Sometimes they're unavoidable. Those fiascos are part of life. The darkness before the light, they say, is the most frightening. This is an authentic cover from a band called Pink Floyd. This has been my new closer for a bit, and I want you guys to enjoy yourselves. Go find yourself a kick snare rack floor, as they call it, maybe a hi-hat and a ride. Start kicking some drum beats with your friends. Find a way to keep kicking ass every single day. I'm Frank Freak of Nature. This is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. I want you to like and subscribe. Send your comments below and look in the description for all kinds of fun stuff you can get into.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Thought sarcasm in the classroom. Teachers leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. I don't need no walls around me. I don't need no drugs to call me. I have seen the writings on the wall. Nothing got me, anything at all. No, nothing got me, anything at all. All in all, it was all just bricks in the wall. All in all, it was all just bricks in the wall. All in all, it was all just bricks in the wall. All in all, it was all just bricks in the wall.
Oh, man. The magic. Every single time. Tailing in, tailing us, always the worst J-cuts here in the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. This is Frank Freaking Nature Beasley. It's, we got Sunny Day Real Estate coming up next. She's going to be dancing her butts off. But after that, we've got a bunch of the Chippendale dancers that are going to be warming your hearts. So this is a multi-dynamic environment. We've got you, you've got us, and isn't that be funny? Got to give Lord Adam Carolla, the best strip club DJ guy, or the time bringer. It's 4:15 p.m. It's Saturday, October 5th. We're up here in the Northeast. It's currently 56 degrees out. It's glorious. You guys are burning your ass off this summer down there in the South. Tough tuckies. But let me tell you, it's a little bit after 4. It's coming up. I think this show's going to ring in hot at 4:20. Saturday afternoon, this is the matinee show. We were talking about a number of things. One was Nick Swartzen. What a funny comedian. Our favorite drummer and comrade and colleague, and well, he's one of the guys that helped me quit breaking out in handcuffs. Don't drink, kiddies, unless you really want to wind up dead. Drinking is for the weak. Have a beer, have a glass of wine, but just don't get wasted. You guys are powerfully wasty waste. You've got us, and isn't that be funny? Now the loop is folding back. But Nick Swartzen, Sammy J. Watkins, and of course, the almighty Tom. Roto Toms, Octave Toms, Concert Toms, Series Toms, Big Toms, Little Toms, you know, Headless Toms, Rehearsal Toms. The Gong Tom is my favorite. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. So, without any further ado, I'd like to say it's been an absolute delight. And you know what? We almost forgot about one of our favorite 420 elements. Ooh, man, I just moved in from Williamsburg. I was listening to Hall & Oates the whole way. Ooh, oh, I love Hall & Oates so much. Hall & Oates.
Let's hear it for our good buddy. Jesus, he always has the sliciest and the diciest and the most flavorful infos on the sweetness. But otherwise, we're gonna wind this one down. I don't know how he does it, but he certainly does. Here's Frankie.
Oh, jeez. Hey, Jesus. Did you bring the mellow yellow? You know, they used to make a can of energy drink called Surge, and I was down south not too long ago, and I saw a can of, well, Bogota Colombian Magic. You know, you can use your imagination, not kitties. And then there was a can of Surge, and actually the content value is cocaine. It's called cocaine in a can. It was a company we almost, one of our colleagues almost got us to invest in. That would have been a very worthwhile investment. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm like super hyper naturally on, already seemingly out of my mind. Is it possible that I can get out of here? It's just like, basically, Red Bull gives you wings. I think the can of Yahoo stuff just gave you, like, you know, limp dick. Oh! That was the sound of the Marble Madness ball leaving the studio. Rolling off the ship! It's no longer a pirate mouse. So on that note, I'd love to thank you guys for the idea. The I believe, 9th episode of the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. 009-007 unfortunately did not feature enough secret agent stuff. We may have to revisit that episode and make it a little bit more slicey and dicey. Number 8, well, we talked about the click track. If you're curious about the click track and what's going on with rhythms and how to synchronize your melodies, or maybe even get your lighting rig to play along with your band, well, there's a number of ways to do that. But again, this is your ever humble human being, Frank Freak of Nature. This is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power, and I'd like to thank you guys for joining us on another episode. We're going to roll out with, I think we're out of stuff. That's it. We've got a good one for you, and this is one of my favorites to end the show. You guys got one thing out there. You got me. I got you, babe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. This is the Heavy Metal Happy Hour of Power. I'm Frank Freak of Nature, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Stay human, and go out there and practice making some babies. Say goodnight, Gracie!
Good night, Gracie.
right. Well, it's been an absolute delight. We are the Future Process. Coincidentally, that's the name of that act that you just listened to. I'm Frank, Freak of Nature. And actually, before we close this out, I'm going to see if we can squeeze this down. That has been driving me crazy the whole episode. Look at that. Look, that's for you guys. Live graphic design. You love it, right? Everybody, what the crap? That's a little better. We'll fix that later. At least it's not, what do you call it? Some kind of extremely expensive, high-cost nonsense.
Lots of fog liquor.
So, on that note, it has been an absolute delight. It's been an honor. And I hope this works.
You'll find yourself.
Well, that didn't work at all. So what we're going to do. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Where's Kyle?